some imperious reader. Leave no survivors. Cylons lured me into their deception once. Never again.
That's gonna work great, man. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And hey,
And we're live from the Bay Star.
Bro, it's welcome to Interfleet Broadcasting. I'm New York Pete. I'm here with my buddy, the Tipsy Toaster, aka Chris Moore. And thanks for joining us on our pop culture and sci-fi entertainment channel. Full disclosure, Tipsy and I, we grew up watching 70s and 80s TV, movies, and cartoons, and we bring our own kind of unique spin to things here on IFB, and we are huge Battlestar Galactica fans, 1978. So with that said, we have our other mate that's in the wings, none other than Doc Chris McCauley, the other Chris on IFB, and he's going to be with us tonight, and we have great special guests lined up. We have writer, author Dave Annandale, and he's doing a lot of stuff, so really cool stuff, and things that I've read and that also Doc McCauley has read. And we also have our Tops card update, so stay tuned for that. So Phil will be here to talk about all that, and then we got other things to discuss. So in the meantime, let's get the Doc on, and let's toast.
Doctor, give me the news.
Hello. How you all doing tonight?
What's
doing
up,
all right?
Doc? How's it going, man?
Good. So, yeah, it's been a busy week, but we can talk about my shit later. It's not really up.
Boy, we got a lot of stuff to
But
discuss.
yeah, a lot of stuff going on. So, but yeah, this is it's lovely to be back in and be here with all of you and the fans. And it's only been a week since I was here last with Nev.
Yeah.
And today, Nev is celebrating the fact that Dead Ringers is back on the radio show. So that was his hit radio and TV show thing. So yeah, it's great to celebrate that as well. Anyway,
Oops.
I've got a drink
there, Pete. Turn your stuff
Yep,
off.
I fixed it. That's
Dang
my
it,
fault.
Pete. You're messing it all up.
I've got a drink in hand.
Woo. Careful,
So-
that's a lot of vodka.
No. This is for later.
Yeah.
This is for later.
Okay,
But-
cool.
But look, this is for now. So,
Mm-hmm.
Tipsy, would you like to lead us in our customary toast?
Sure, let me get mine ready first. A little orange
boy.
juice. I figured I'd be healthy tonight. Add a little Cuervo to that, though.
Jesus Christ, here we go.
Oh
again.
boy, stop.
Right.
Jose
That's not
Cuervo,
water. Oh,
you are a
boy.
friend of mine.
Well, hold on, Tipsy. No, that's not enough. Get a wee swig of that as well.
Hang
Get
on,
a swig of that.
Oh, I can take
Get
some of
us-
that. But I
Get a
gotta,
swig.
I gotta
swig
add-
Take
of
him
it.
on. What are you doing, Doc? Oh,
It's good for him. It's good for him. He's had a hard week. He needs it into him. Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta add some-
He's in
I
charge
gotta
of
add some blood
buttons,
of,
man.
It cleans the servos in the Cylon system.
gotta add some blood from
That's it.
from the
There
colonial
he goes.
blood.
There he goes. He's getting that in
Colonial
as well.
blood there.
He's getting that in there.
There we go.
Oh my! All
Do you know
right.
what? Do you know what? He'll be fucking boking before the night's over. But hey, fair play to him. He's going for it.
That's it. a little colonial blood.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, Erica, what's up? Thanks for joining us, Rob and Sean and James and Rick. We got a full cast of
Damn it!
Lola,
Where the
uh,
hell is
Linda.
mediocre modeler? I need that damn thing for Pete.
Linda's here from the UK. Chris Laskowski's watching from down under and all over the US, all over North America. Thanks for joining us, guys. So, are you going to take it away, Tipsy, before you're
Take it away
completely
before I
tipsy?
get too tipsy. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thank you so much for joining us. We're here every Thursday, but the most important thing is not us. It's the people that fuel this thing, the people that are
right.
having great fandoms, the people who have great imaginations, people like Sean and everybody who's on right now. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. And here's to the fans, because the fans fuel the fleet.
Fans fuel the fleet. There you go. Cheers.
Sláinte.
All right. Excellent. I know that you've been very busy, Doc, this week. And
Oh, Christ.
yeah, you've been doing a lot of cool stuff. I know that for a fact because we
But
talk.
I don't hang before we start going here too far.
There's
I don't
Yeah.
have like pictures or
there's
anything, do I?
there's stuff
Yeah,
there's
you do.
stuff yeah,
I do?
there's stuff sent to you. It's all right.
Okay, hang on.
Take-
I'll get it. You
Right.
guys
Listen, wait a minute.
sit and talk. There we go.
No, take a swig, take another swig, and we'll get to it. I want to make sure you're good and happy before we hit our peak here. It's very important to me.
Oh, we never hit our peak. Come on.
That's
Oh
it.
my
that's
God.
It. That's it.
Meg, thanks for joining us live. Appreciate you, all of you, watching live. I know
Let's see
that
here.
in
YouTube,
syndication,
Restream,
we get thousands
TikTok.
of views. Thank you, everybody. Really, really appreciate you tuning in.
Only
Vintage
fans.
Star Wars glass. There you go, baby. That's one of
Ex-hamster.
my personal collection. Bam, bam,
Red-
bam. Look at that.
Red tube.
When did you send? Oh, wrong. Am I on the wrong one?
You're in the wrong one, man. You gotta.
Yeah.
I sent a new
Adorama.
cover, exclusive cover. I instant messaged you. We have an exclusive
Oh, I have the instant
cover
message
reveal.
cover. Oh, the cover.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Is it instant messenger? Or is it email?
It's Facebook, probably Facebook.
Oh, well,
I-
that's different.
Angela White, Raylene,
Well,
various friends of mine from the adult industry. I'm just going to call out their names for no reason. There we
wrong
go.
show, wrong show. Well, hey Doc, listen, Doc McCauley. We're tonight we're going to touch upon a bunch of different things, but one of them is a good friend of ours, a big supporter of IFB and a supporter of the Stranded Warrior, because he actually drove all the way to come to New York so that he could be in it. Mike Gaudreau, who is also a filmmaker. We had originally premiered his first fan film. He dropped the new one, and it's out there. It's on YouTube right now as we speak.
Can't wait to see it.
Yep, it's called
Yeah.
Freedom and Sacrifice. It's an hour and 48 minutes long. We're going to end up having him come on at some point and do a behind the scenes. He's going to give us the director's commentary because he directed. So I did get to watch a little bit of it, and it's another Battlestar fan film, and we're so proud of being affiliated with Mike Gaudreau, who's a big fan.
It's really important. These things are really important.
Oh, yeah.
Because they keep the fandom alive.
That's right.
And they're authentic. They're by fans for fans.
That's correct.
It's only for fans. Only fans.
It's only fans. Yeah, there we go. I have a lot of friends that are on OnlyFans, but that's another different topic, and we won't go in there. But maybe there should be a Battlestar OnlyFans.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Athena, call me. I got this set up.
Yeah.
You're a silo and you're not set up for anything that Athena could deliver, mate. Trust me. But yeah, no, look, it's fantastic. I think there should be more
mechanical.
more of this. It's really important, and it keeps everything alive. I'm involved in a few fan films at the minute. One of them's the Terminator stuff. I've been involved in the official Terminator things, including the official 40th anniversary Terminator book that was released last year. But I'm also involved with Terminator fan films. Some of my work is actually in the next official Terminator film. But I am with our one of our leading ladies, Diana, uh, from Stranded Warrior. I'm actually
Yes,
working on this Terminator fan film with her, and it's a great privilege and fantastic pleasure. It's all about delivering things to the fans and doing it in such a way that's authentic. And we're all doing this from the Stranded Warrior to what Mike's doing as well. It's really important just to keep everything alive.
absolutely, absolutely. And hey, it works. It works to keep the legacy going,
Yeah.
and it's fan based, fan made, and so it's a great thing. And yeah, it's on YouTube, guys. So if you have time, you have an inclination, you're curious, please go and check out Freedom and Sacrifice. I believe it went up within the last maybe 48 hours, and it's another fun, good. Oh, it's Battlestar Galactica, and it's related to the Eastern Alliance. So the Eastern Alliance
Oh.
comes back into the world of Battlestar Galactica as Mike Goudreau saw it. So that's where it's at. And we're pleased to hear about all of these fan films, especially the Galactica ones. Because let's face it, Doc, there's plenty of Star Trek, plenty of Star Wars on a regular
There's
basis.
not enough Battlestar. There's
Yeah,
not
not
enough
enough.
Battlestar.
Just not enough.
So, like, one of the biggest challenges that we have, and we've talked to Eric Larson about this, is how we present Battlestar to a new generation
Yep.
that's authentic and hits the needs of the current producers. So, I'm a new Battlestar fan. Uh, I think we announced that we're working on a new Battlestar project with some of the classic actors and stuff like that. We've
Yes.
done that, right? Okay.
Yes, we have. But it's okay to
Yeah.
remind everybody.
Okay, so we're doing that right now. We've got fan fiction in there, we've got quizzes, we've got all sorts of things going on there. It's like it's a massive tribute to classic Battlestar. Classic Battlestar, because I was born in the 90s, okay? So classic Battlestar was 20 years behind me, okay? So yeah, frack indeed. Frack indeed. They are
90s. Mr. the 90s, the child amongst
there's
us.
Frack.
or as the Irish say, fuck. But we're not allowed to say that today.
You
Anyway,
got
so
body mouth, man.
okay, yeah. Sorry, being very Irish, we don't have any filter at all, at all. Anyway, so OnlyFans wouldn't work for me at all. What you get was what you see. What you see is what you get, right? But anyway, so yeah, 90s child grow up. We don't have any of that. And it was it last year? No, it was the year before. Was it last year I started appearing here? And you guys turned me on to Battlestar Galactica Classic
Yeah.
as my camera starts to glitch. That's what
Uh-oh.
happens.
Is
Ooh,
that
that's kind of
is
cool.
that
That's the
that's
Matrix
whoa.
there, buddy.
Yeah, it's either
There's the
Matrix
Matrix.
or Skynet. Skynet's busted
Whoa!
into. Yeah, yeah,
Wow!
yeah.
We'll,
Hey,
we'll,
Shane, thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you staying up. I know it's late on the other side of the pond. Thank you. And Linda as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. I could see that Doc McCauley's in big trouble because Skynet's coming down
That's right.
way
Here
hard
it
on
is,
him,
right
man.
here.
They're dropping.
Yep, exactly.
it's your bloody fault, Tipsy. But yeah, so I start. Hold on, I'll shift myself. I have to shift myself over as well. So anyway, look, I get turned on to Battlestar Galactica through this show
Yep.
as a young chap. So listen, classic Battlestar is where it's at. I do enjoy the modern stuff, but classics where it's at for me because there's a lot of heart and soul there, and that's really what I love. And thanks to Pete and Tipsy and George and everybody here. I started working on Stranded Warrior, which brought forward a lot more love as well, and we are winning major
Yep.
awards.
Yes, we are.
We've been labeled a cinematic masterpiece by Hong Kong Film Festival
That's right.
because of the authenticity of what we've brought.
Yep.
So And that's all thanks to the folks here who are watching. So we are committed to continuing to bring you authentic Battlestar content. And yeah, so we really do mean it every week when we say thank you
That's right.
for us.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. Speaking of that, you know that we've on and off this has come up. It's a recurring issue that gets brought up, and legitimately so. There is, there's products. We had the lunchbox, and we've talked about how that's been reissued. Entertainment Factory, they came on here. They have new items that have never been released or created based on the original Battlestar Galactica. So they're going to be slowly releasing new items. However, Hallmark this year is releasing the Cylon Raider as a Christmas ornament. So there are things coming out, which is great. We've always kind of wondered where and when and how. And so in between, there's comic books that come out. Sometimes we don't find out about it till after, but there it is.
Isn't she beautiful?
Of course.
In her
Of
own
course.
way. Oh, look, I
Yeah,
get 15% off. All right.
And sometimes there's video games as well, like so Funko Fusion.
Oh, yes. Funko Fusion.
Funko
Thank you.
Fusion, and we've
Yep.
got if you play it, you've got Knight
Yep.
Rider, you've got
Yeah.
He-Man, you've got all sorts of things, right?
Oh, yeah.
And possibly an announcement that'll be coming from me
Yeah.
before the end of the year on a
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica video game, classic Battlestar Galactica video game.
Whoa.
But I'm not allowed to talk about that right now.
Yeah. Say no more. So that's in the works, guys. You've heard it here first, exclusive on IFB. Also wanted to mention, because we're supporting Comic Palooza. It's June 20 to 22 in Houston, Texas. And the BFC is celebrating their 25th silver anniversary at the convention
Aren't
with
we going to have somebody on again?
oh yes, Erica's going to come on and talk to us all about it. But in the meantime, we want to make sure we remind everybody, if you're nearby or if you can get there, there's going to be a whole host of both classic and new Battlestar Galactica cast members, and there's going to be a lot of convergence of Battlestar fans, and fandom will be there, and that is June 20 to 22. And then of course in July, which is next month from now, on the 19th, there is the mini-con that we have participated in already. We did it last year. We're going to be doing it again this year, and that's at the Levittown Hall, Long Island, New York. And we had a really, really great time. It's all for charity. There is no entrance fee, so they kind of hope that by you being able to walk in, that instead of paying at the door, you spend a little bit, and it's all for charity. And it's a great little con, great guests, and you'll notice that we are on the advertising, we are supporting, and
Yeah.
so yep.
And there's a few of my friends there as well. So
Yep.
go and say hello there.
Absolutely.
Hello there.
Hello there. As one of my actually one of my best sci-fi friends says, hello there.
So, so yes, so those are a little bit of the conventions, and
Oh, isn't there
I
a
wanted-
there isn't the is that on the
yeah,
501st
it's July
page?
19th,
No, the
Comic Palooza.
7-foot Darth Vader.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, Hayden's going there. I know Hayden quite well, so Hayden's going to be there. So feel free to go up and say hello and say
Absolutely. Yeah, we will.
Doc
100%.
Macaulay sent you.
Yes. By the way, Doc, did you hear that Star Trek Strange New Worlds is premiering July 17th? That's season 3. However, they've been renewed for the 5th and final season.
It's the final one, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did hear that. Yeah.
So 6 episodes. So
Yes.
obviously next year will be season 4, followed by then the last one, which was announced today.
Yep. it's something that I follow. Obviously, being a Star Trek writer, I follow it, and you know, um, but for me, it's always classic Star Trek, TNG, and Deep Space Nine. I've written those very comfortably. I love those. Modern Star Trek isn't necessarily for me, but if you enjoy it,
Wh-
Godspeed.
what are some of your favorite characters from the
Um,
franchise?
DS9, it's Cisco, Odo, Vic Fontaine. Vic
Oh, okay.
Fontaine is one hell of a character, right?
Okay.
By the late great James Darren.
Yeah.
Um, for TNG, it's Troy, Crusher, uh, yeah, Picard. I like Picard. He's the Philosopher King.
Yes.
Worf, because Worf struggles against an awful lot of stuff. The Forge is, I think he's one of the greatest heroes of Next Gen. Original series, well, I've worked with him, right? So it has to be Chekhov. And I've worked with him as well, so it has to be Kirk, right?
Yes.
So, and
Yes.
I have to say that Bill's Kirk.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
When I worked with Bill, he's Kirk. There isn't much of a difference between Kirk and Bill Shatner. He's a good guy. I love him
Which
a
is
lot.
cool. Oh, it's good to
So
know.
yeah, but yeah, it just for me it's yeah, I'm all about the classic Trek, but for other people, my wife loves Lower Decks, absolutely adores it.
Okay.
And she likes Discovery.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I think there's it's like Doctor Who, there's Trek for everyone out there.
Yes. Yes. And speaking of Doctor Who, I did watch the final episode, and I mean, we
Right.
talked about it last
Oh, we
show,
did. We
but
did with the man who knows, Mr.
yeah, and
Nev Fountain. Yeah.
yeah, we had a great time with Nev, but it was
Yep.
it's still a little baffling. I don't know how that's going to play out. There's a lot of talk, a lot of going
Uh,
back and forth on social media,
do you
but
want do you want an exclusive?
yeah, of course.
I could get sacked for saying this, but
Oh
I
well,
don't
then don't
care.
say it.
Don't do
No, I don't.
that.
I don't care.
Oh my God.
It's just between us and the 20K viewers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Occasionally watch
exactly.
this.
30K.
Right. So Doctor Who will be a kids show as well. CBBS. There's going to be a Doctor Who kids show. Um, Doctor Who will survive past Disney.
Okay. I like to hear that.
So
That's good.
it's gonna
Good.
continue on.
Okay.
I have certain knowledge about that, and it will continue on. I loved Shooty. I actually loved him. I thought he was bright and cheerful and joyful and energetic and empathic. He was everything that I wouldn't be as the Doctor. I'm a very dark, morose, calculating, Machiavellian bastard. So my Doctor was always the seventh Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, and yours is the fourth Doctor. Well, the fourth Doctor's interesting because he's sort of, and I've written for the fourth Doctor, and you actually have some of my
I do.
work with the fourth Doctor.
I do.
And he was sort of like a bit playful, and then he starts getting very dark because of Hinchcliffe and the Hammer horror aspects of the Fourth Doctor, which I love. Yeah, I think that Doctor Who has to go back to that sort of. There has to be a bit of fear. There has to be a bit of darkness. Now I have a couple of official Doctor Who products coming out this year, and
Excellent.
I will give IFB the exclusive on them, and
Ooh, awesome.
they are a lot darker than the current
Excellent.
television shows. So
All right. There's nothing wrong with that.
let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. But you also have a couple of other IPs, franchises that you're working on.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially
that
this one right here.
are actually
This one is an extremely
Oh,
important
yeah.
IP.
Jeez. Yeah. So I actually started working on Houdini VFX. I've started becoming a VFX guy,
wow.
and learning that as well. So I've got a couple of qualifications on that stuff, and 3D modeling. Just because I enjoy it. I enjoy all that stuff, and anybody who knows Houdini knows it's quite complex. But I've been starting to work on Vex as well, which is the programming software behind Houdini. And yeah, I've been enjoying it a lot.
I'll point you in
So,
Unreal Engine. I'll point you in that direction.
Yeah, I work in that as well. I actually work in that professionally. So C++ and Unreal and stuff, I work in that professionally. But Tipsy, you've done an incredible job with Unreal Engine and Stranded Warrior. So
And
yeah,
the Tower
hats
Protocol.
off you. And yeah, Tower Protocol is amazing for
Sweet.
the Unreal stuff you did. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
We're ready to talk about something
so-
like this.
yes, right.
I'm stealing Pete's
so-
thunder. Sorry, Pete.
This
I got that
was,
view on it. I got his eyeballs there. I can see it in his eyes. Like, not now.
Nobody else has seen this yet. I saw this yesterday. This is a brand new Stokerverse tabletop game. And this is artwork by Clint Langley, who we had on last year. And Clint's well known, so we're going to start the Warhammer theme now. Clint is a Warhammer 40k artist. In fact, a lot of the Warhammer 40k films and video games are based on his artwork. Clint and I have a great professional relationship, which we're continuing on into the next couple of years. We actually have created a franchise together, which we will reveal later on this year. But this is a brand new Stokerverse game, and it's an RPG game, and it's something fairly unique. I'm not allowed to say too much about it. In fact, I'll probably be castrated for showing these images, but I wanted to show this to our fans because I have a great appreciation for our fans and what they've done for me and what they've done for the franchises that I've worked on. So I wanted to show this tonight.
Cool. Very cool. But you have a couple of other things.
Yes.
You've got some there's the one kids book that came out that's doing superbly well.
Oh, yeah.
RPGs that are just going through the roof.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
what is it? Musketeers and Cthulhu?
Musketeers versus Cthulhu was
Yeah.
very interesting. So about 3 years ago, I wrote this bloody thing as a joke. It became a comic book and an RPG, and the
Yeah.
first RPG was up for an Emmy award, which is the highest award you can get for writing in tabletop RPGs. It grossed $40,000 in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Musketeers Book 2, All the Cardinal's Men, was released 48 hours ago, and we're up to nearly, in Canadian dollars, nearly 27,000, and we've got 23 days to go. So this is fantastic. It's backed by Chaosium, who own Call of Cthulhu. It's being published by Nightfall Games. And Claudia and I are very pleased. In fact, if we can play this, actually, if we play the audio, Claudia
Okay, hang on.
reads the audio here.
Give me 1 second. I got to turn the audio on.
All right. Well,
Turn the audio on.
I haven't seen this. This looks really cool.
Routing.
And this is still
We'll
currently
forget, we'll
on.
let go if I don't remember to take that off. But here we go.
Right. Okay.
Oh, turn that back on.
La Rochelle, where mighty Richelieu lays siege on man and monster alike. Buckingham and his foul allies, the Deep Ones, are seeking to destroy any hope of a unified France. As cannons roar and the sorcerers hiding within bring down dark sorceries, you are tasked with delivering victory. No, mes amis, not as one of those valiant blue tabards. No, in this adventure, you don the red, Join Richelieu as one of La Toile, his secret network of spies, and be the scalpel to the Musketeers' cannonball. For you are all the Cardinal's men. Based on the writings of me, Claudia Christian, and my co-writer Chris McCauley, All the Cardinal's Men is a standalone continuation of Musketeers vs. Cthulhu. In this adventure, you can choose to continue the occult adventures of the Three Musketeers or take on new roles, serving the king through subtler means. Inside, you will find an epic campaign of adventure, taking you from the battlefields of La Rochelle to the intrigues of the Louvre, from the island prison Chateau d'If to the mighty Bastille. Can you liberate the realm from the malevolent Deep Ones and their allies, the Court of Chaos? Find out with All the Cardinal's Men.
Excellent. I
So
haven't seen that. That's cool.
I can tell you book three is already been commissioned and it's coming out from Chaosium, so that's going to be out soon. And
Congratulations,
there's
Doc.
other stuff,
Well done.
yeah, other stuff. So I mean,
Cool.
it was originally written as a bit of a joke, and now it's kind of taken the RPG guys by storm, which I'm
Well,
very
it's
grateful.
really cool. Well,
Grateful.
you know what? I wanna loop back and talk a little bit more about RPGs
Yes.
afterwards. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, you and we kind of discussed the fact that we have a special guest coming on, and that
Oh
both
yeah, David.
yeah
David's work's fucking incredible. David's
yeah,
work's
and
fucking
we've actually
incredible.
I've read a bunch of his books.
Yeah. Look,
So
I'm a major 40K fan, and David's stuff is up there with Dan Abnett, and I know Dan
oh yeah,
Abnett personally, but his stuff's fucking up there,
well,
right? And
so
I've
it
worked in 40K
yes, yeah,
recently,
that's
and I
right.
tell you something now, this guy, he's got original works coming out, and they're going to be phenomenal,
Oh,
absolutely phenomenal.
on top of all the other things he's done, but prolific writer, special guest Dave Annandale is here in the green room, and as soon as the Tipsy Toaster can bring him up, we're gonna chat it up. He's got Dave's got a new book coming out, and so we're gonna talk about that plus all the other great stuff that he's done, and the things that I've actually jotted down some of the books that I read. So walking into this,
Well,
I'm familiar with his work. I'm like,
I'm
holy mag, this is great. Dave, welcome to IFB. How are you? Absolutely. So look, I've read Yarrick, Commissar Yarrick, Vulcan, Crusade, Roboti Gilliman, Lord of the Ultramar. Those are the ones that I've read. I know that Doc McCauley is also familiar with your work, so great stuff.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's always nice to hear. You're, you know, typing away by yourself in the room and the stuff goes off. Sometimes it feels like, is this going into the void? So whenever you actually, hear, hey, I've read somebody say, hey, I've read that and enjoyed it, then
Oh
that
yeah.
really makes it all worthwhile.
Oh, absolutely. Just cool stuff. And I mean, that's the tip of the iceberg. You have so much work in the 40K world, but you've also done a bunch of other things as well. And I want to touch upon those. But on my notes here, I know that you've also stepped into the world of podcasting. So you've been involved in some
Yeah,
podcasting. Yep.
yeah.
And I also, before we circle back to your writing, um, are you still teaching?
Yeah. Still, yeah.
There you
Still
go.
have the university day job hat on. So
Fantastic. So, Professor, look, you work with not only the like I said the Warhammer 40K and the Black Library, but you also have done stuff with I believe it's Aconite Books
that's right. Yeah,
and it's Arkham Horror and Legend of the Five Rings universes and a trilogy for Doctor Doom,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
pretty cool. And you've also done horror too.
Yes.
So I mean, you've touched on a lot of great stuff. Where are you going now? Because you have a new book that we're also going to touch upon, but we all need to hear from you.
Well, I guess more of everything else that I still love working in all of these universes. So I'm continuing to do that. There's there's a 40K book that should be coming out fairly soon. I don't think it's been officially announced yet, so
Ooh.
I can't be any
Mum's
more
the word.
specific.
Okay. All right, cool. Looking forward to it, whatever it is. Excellent.
And I've been doing a few sort of short Arkham horror pieces for Aconite as well. Which is, I mean, that's been kind of fun sort of palette cleansers instead of bigger projects. Now and then, just doing some short web-based stuff, which is always good fun. So yeah, and then also working with the folks at Warhammer TV on some of the animation projects
Ooh.
there. So yeah, that's actually been where a lot of my attention has been of late as well.
Well, look, since we're talking about, 40K, which is your favorite chapter? I know you've written Grey Knights,
Yeah.
but is it Ultramarines or who is it? If
You
putting
know,
you on a spot.
the short and potentially glib answer, but I think also the honest answer is it's whichever faction I happen to be writing on that day. Right?
Fair enough.
Because the goal is to, like, you want to fall in love with whatever the faction is. So and so yeah, it probably won't come as a surprise to anyone who's familiar with my stuff. I skew dark. Right. The first love is horror, and that pervades a lot of what I write. So it came as a something of a surprise to me how much I enjoyed writing Guilliman and the Ultramarines, right, who are on the other end of the scale as far as that goes. I do have a very, very deep fondness for Yarick. He was, I mean, he's probably the character, at least the 40K character that I've written the most about. So, I mean, at least for 40K, if you held a gun to, or held a bolt gun to my head and said, pick one, it might be him, because then you also then Gazgul comes into the mix, and you've got the whole kind of Ahab Moby Dick, and which one is Ahab and which one is the whale comes into play.
Cool.
So I have there is that, and I'd say like for Age of Sigmar, I probably there I think Neferata would have to be my special favorite there. But again, sometimes it feels like trying to pick your favorite child.
Wow. Now, you said cleaning the palette because you've done, if I'm not mistaken, it's like close to 80 different works for Warhammer and the Black Library.
Yeah, I guess I've got about 40 books out altogether, and then dozens of short stories. So it probably
Yeah.
does add up to something like that. Well, and what I meant by the palette cleanser is just like the short thing, right?
Okay.
When you're finishing one long project, or even when you're in the midst of a long project, and then you get to just write a fun 500 words. Are you psychic? Take this quiz. Uh, uh, Little nightmare uh, item that it keeps things fresh, right? And I mean, I have to say that I feel extraordinarily lucky to have been able to play in all of these shared or all of these universes with all these different IPs, right? I got to I've been able to play all over 40K with all sorts of order and chaos factions, or imperial and chaos factions on either side. Uh, and more and more so with Age of Sigmar, where I've been getting more and more projects to do there. So there's that. I mean, the chance to write Doctor Doom, he is my favorite Marvel character, bar none, right?
Wow.
Has always been. So to actually get to write three novels about him was very much a dream come true. Pinch me, is this real territory?
Well, that's pretty cool. So if you had a choice to jump into any of the other franchises that exist out in the world, you could say, well, I choose this one or that one. Are there any that you would really, say, yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to write for that. is that part of
If
your
I would I would pay to be able to write a Godzilla story, right?
Ah,
Wow.
excellent.
That's on
Excellent.
the bucket list, right?
Excellent. All right, cool. Well, there's what did you think of the new show that came out, Monarch?
Um, certainly an interesting sort of way of expanding the mythology, and I've always been partial to Hollow Earth stories ever since I saw the late 50s version of Journey to the Center of the Earth when
Mhm.
I think it was Christmas 1971 no, 72 that I saw that, and that marked me forever. So I love that kind of that kind of concept. Um, so it's you know I guess I would always like there to be more monsters.
Cool. Very cool. All right. Well, you know what? I always like to ask about appearances
Mm.
and conventions. Is that something that you have time for?
It's something I've done a little bit. It's not something I've had a lot of opportunity to do. Just the travel and distances. But certainly, I have had a number of occasions to get over to the UK to Nottingham for the Black Library Weekender. And those were always highlights of my year. So I, really enjoyed those. I've been to a few on this side of the pond. I've been to Convergence in Minneapolis, and oh, of course, now the where's the big wargaming thing in Chicago. How come I can't
Oh,
remember it?
was it Gen Con?
Yeah, no. It's very much actual like sort of tabletop war game focused. And I'll remember it at 3 o'clock this morning because it's
And you just put it up in our yeah, just
yeah,
send it
it's a
up into
really
our
big.
chat. That's
Just
all.
just don't
How
call
come
us when you finally figure it out.
yeah,
Hey, it happens to the best
exactly.
of us. Dave, we
Yeah,
I definitely want to spend a little bit of time on The Sleep of Empires, the Book of the Null, which is a project I believe coming out later this year. Is that correct?
that's right. It's coming out in September from Pyre Books. So this is an original uh, uh, work of mine. It's been very long in the coming. The earliest seeds of it, the first glimmers of the world I was going to create date back to 1977. So we're
Awesome.
going we're
Awesome.
going way back. The I can find other traces and things that I wrote in the early 80s, but the first kind of serious, oh, this is what the story is going to be about, came to me in 92. So it's still been, the 30 plus years in the making. And so the fact that it's finally found a home is, and that I actually got the first book finished has been. I mean, it's a really important moment for me. It means so much, and so I am feeling profoundly grateful that it's finally coming out.
Is that going to be a trilogy or a standalone, or what
It's
do you
going to be a
see it as?
duology. It's
Oh,
going to be
okay.
yeah,
Duology.
yeah,
Wow.
one and two, and you're done. Short and sweet. So things are getting pretty apocalyptic in the second volume that I'm working on right now. It's a world where I mean, on the one hand, it'll be you know a familiar kind of fantasy world, except one where the elves are tyrannical, where the humans are all at each other's throats, and sometimes when the darkness comes creeping back, it should.
Ooh, oh boy. Okay. And if another question that we always like to pose is if you had the ability to choose a medium to turn this book into, would it be a TV, a streaming, like an Amazon or Netflix, or would you like it to be cinematic?
Mm.
Or, we've had authors that say satisfied with a graphic novel, that would be, one of they could see it as that. If you had a choice, what would it be?
Gosh, that's a really good question and a really tough one. Because I mean, with my day job hat on, I teach movies, right?
Oh,
That's
really? Cool.
uh, there's like film studies, right? So I teach, horror and science fiction and B movies and comic book films and video games and so on and so forth. And so my love of movies is immense. And so I guess there, if I, if it had a filmic incarnation, I suppose I'd be, that would feel like some kind of ultimate to me. But having said that, if it had any kind of life in any other form, I would consider myself fortunate beyond all measure. And the funny thing is too, I also have kind of indirectly given it a kind of life just informally at home in another medium because I converted the world and some of the events into a D&D campaign that I
Oh,
put friends and
Ah,
relations through.
cool.
oh, that is fantastic. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what we love to hear. I'm gonna take a leap and say that you are definitely. I mean, you said you're a film buff. Do you consider yourself a sci-fi fan over a fantasy, or does that matter? And if you are, can you tell us some of the inspiration? What's some of the
Yeah,
TV or
what
movies that have helped, stayed with you all these years?
things have built you?
Well,
Yeah.
I would say horror is the great love. That's
Okay.
the one that
Awesome.
has kind of that rules them all. But I love all genres, so science fiction and fantasy very much too. I'll teach them all, and they all blend together, right? Like when you hear, like I guess you don't hear this so much anymore, but when people are arguing over what is Alien a science fiction or horror, I mean that's like asking or arguing over whether the sun is round or hot, right? I mean, so. And so right there, Alien, I mean that was an absolutely formative experience for my 13th birthday, and it remains my favorite film of all time. But my first cinematic hero was Georges Méliès, and the man who gave us all of these genres back in the late 1900s. Made my little pilgrimage to his grave in the Père Lachaise in Paris.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Uh, so the I certainly have a very abiding love for I mean a lot of the well, I guess I love all eras of horror. I was going to say, yeah, I couldn't even pick one in particular because it's like, yeah, if I were to say, yeah, I love the 30s and 40s stuff best, but today's Thursday. Ask me tomorrow and it'll be the 1970s, right? It'll be Euro horror. It'll be something else. So I adore all of it. And I mean, I'd say the science fiction film that made the greatest impact on me was 2001: A Space Odyssey. Uh,
Yay! That was a good,
my
great movie.
my dad took me to see that when I was it was a re-release. I think I was 9, and I can't pretend that I understood it, but my mind was comprehensively blown by what I saw, and it has, loomed large in my imagination ever since, right? It was the you know the kind of seeing the face of God sort of
Yes,
revelation in
yes.
of film.
Well,
The
when you
monolith.
said, but yes, the model, of course. When you said horror, I think Carl Kolchak.
Now he's someone that I never got around to seeing until comparatively recently, because he like well when I was growing up, we just had rabbit ears, so
Mhm.
no cable, and I'm in Canada, so that meant no like,
No.
we didn't get ABC, NBC, or CBS, right? That was exotic stuff. And as well, I can think like when I was very little, I think that would have frightened me too much. So I didn't even know about Kolchak until I read Stephen King's Dance Macabre.
Oh,
And that was
Hmm.
when I found out that there was such a thing. Oh, yeah, I thought, okay, that sounds really great. But I had to wait for the era of home video before I could actually finally see one.
Yeah, Pete introduced me to Kolchak. I'd never seen it before. He told me. So
Yes, it's oh my God, I grew up watching
and
not
the
the whole
audiobook's great too, by the way.
yeah, the new one that just
Yeah.
came out, but yes, good stuff. All right, so look, Dave, since we've touched a little bit upon the academic side of things, one of the other questions that I like to bring up is your opinion, your opinion straight up on the value of studying film.
Oh, well, I mean, I mean, if I said there was no value, I'd be
Get out of
undermining
a
myself,
job.
right? And I would have made, I'd have one of those, Simpsons comic book guys, I've wasted my life moments. But I think there's an enormous value to it, in the same as there is for the study of any art form, right? And it is, I mean, is it quite the dominant form that it was at one time? Maybe not, but still colossally important. It still represents this kind of collective experience that we can have. Film tells us so much about ourselves, the the era that we're in, the culture that a given film emerges from, the hopes and the fears, and the more you delve into the films, I think the more you see in them, the more the more films, many great films reward you. Right. That's why our favorites we watch over and over and over and over again, and each time, oh wait, I didn't see that before, or now I get this, right? And that can be Citizen Kane, or it can be The Car, right?
Oh, you said a great
Uh,
movie. The Car was amazing.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen that film, and I didn't have the kind of epiphany until a few years back, where I'd always thought it was a very lovable but kind of silly movie, but I kept going back to it, and then one day I watched it again, and just suddenly I went, oh wait a minute,
Connects.
now I see what it's doing. Oh wait a minute, this isn't silly at all. This is really smart what it's getting up to.
Yep.
So it has only risen in my estimation since.
That was
Wow, outstanding.
one of my first horror movies, because I love car movies. But that was like, oh, the car is like, this was fantastic. It was.
Well,
Uh-oh, you got.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
no, that's
Okay,
sweet.
full
Look at
size.
that.
There we go.
right? Is it a phantom, a demon, or the devil himself?
That's it.
To quote the poster.
Very cool. Very cool. In between now and September
You can
for
still hear the horn.
the release. No, yeah, no kidding. The Sleep of Empires, the Book of the Null, which we said September, which is a while from today.
Yeah.
What else is in the works? What else is coming out?
Well, there is some. I think there'll probably be some short Arkham Horror pieces, but I can't go into the details about those. When they but those will be probably not too long in coming. Um, and again, there is that other Black Library book, but I'm not sure exactly when it's appearing. So it could be between now and September, or it could be afterwards. I honestly
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. And so how do the fans get signed copies of your work?
Oh, so tricky for that. I mean, certainly there's in the local games workshop. The I Anytime someone wants a book signed, they can drop a book off there, and I'll go by and sign the books. And so whether but we've never. I don't know if the guys there have ever tried to set something up for actual mailing back and forth. So I honestly don't know if I have a system
Not yet.
for that. Yes, not yet.
I know that speaking as a fan, I definitely, especially since you don't do a lot of appearances, like
Hmm.
you didn't mention bookstores or anything like that, but it would be really cool if there was some way in the future that fans could get signed copies
Right.
of your work. It'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
That is a very good point. And I mean, certainly, yeah. I mean, I would love to do more conventions. Oh, Adepticon. That's the one I was trying to
Ah,
remember.
okay.
See, it came to you
Excellent.
before 3 o'clock. Thank goodness you're not calling us.
Yes, there we go. We can all sleep soundly
Yeah.
tonight.
Well, phew, that's a
Yeah.
relief.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
oh, go ahead, Pete.
Dave, we got to yeah, because I don't want to forget this. Dave, so I've been trying to get to pull the Tipsy Toaster into the world of 40K. I
Mhm.
attempted to do that with Gaunt, and it didn't work so well. I know that you've
I
also
felt
worked
you know, go
with
ahead.
the Gaunt Legacy, and which I read. But if you could, if possible, if you could recommend maybe a starting point out there to get Tipsy Toaster to come into the realm of 40K or for the fans in general,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
Because
do you
I had
have any
the problem
inkling?
I had was I felt when I listened to I don't watch a lot I don't read a lot
Yeah.
of books because I have so much don't have enough time, but I listen to a lot of books, and I felt that Pete gave me the gaunt, and I was like, I don't mind this, um, but I felt like I didn't know
Mhm.
the background. It was like it threw me into a world where they had it's like giving me 25 or 75 different acronyms and different religions or whatever else, and I did not know those, so I
Yeah.
felt out of place.
Well, I think, and I understand that, and I remember the experience of first encountering it myself and getting to know the world. So I think, I mean, thinking about my own experience of how I got to know it, I would maybe start with one of the short story collections that they have out there.
Oh,
And I don't know if they're what the latest anthology of this kind is, but there were a few just a few years back that said "Start Here" on the cover, right? So they were
Okay.
oh,
anthologies for both 40K and Age of Sigmar that were aimed at kind of giving you a bit of a taste of things, right? And being
excellent.
a gateway.
Hmm.
And I know that the first stories that I read when I was getting to know the universe was one of the Space Marine Adventures
Mhm.
collections. And I mean, there were terms I didn't understand and things I was just trying to sort of figure out how it went. But I found that I kind of like through a process of immersion, I got the hang of it pretty quickly. And because they were stories rather than a novel, uh, the actual narrative was sort of much, more easily digestible. Like I wasn't initially having to take on all the different lore and layers of things that might make a novel perhaps a little bit intimidating. And I found that after I'd read like one collection, it's like, okay, yeah, I've got the hang of this. So I think I'd be inclined to start with one or the other of the general short story collections.
Cool. All right, that's great advice for all fans, including hopefully the Tipsy Toaster. But we
I
would
love
love to have.
robots, so why
Oh,
not? Right?
there's
They
plenty of
have
stuff.
robots, or sort
Yeah,
of robots.
They're sort of robots. They're armor things and
Mars, you're right,
military armor things.
the
I can do that.
Mechanicum and
I
stuff.
did
Yeah,
like Richard Fox's stuff, so that was similar.
Yeah.
there's yeah. I'm gonna go back in now with Dave's advice and maybe figure
Recommend me
out.
one because
Yeah, I think
Pete, that
I'll
was
come
the
up with
only
something.
book I've. That was the first book. I shouldn't say the only one. Recently, I've returned one. The only book I've ever, or the first book I returned, our first audiobook I returned on Audible because you can
Yeah,
actually
you got
return Audible.
overwhelmed.
I was like,
Yeah,
not getting into this because it's just talking about stuff that I don't even know what they're talking about.
yeah. It's true. It's true, right, Dave? It can be overwhelming.
It can be. And the other thing too, with regards to if you're listening, right? Black Library does a lot of audio dramas. So instead of the audio book, you'll get, sound effects and different
Hmm.
actors
Hmm.
and
I like that.
like a
It's a
full-on
radio
radio
play,
drama.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got a lot of those. So and some again quite short, they might be, 10 minutes. some taking up multiple CDs. So
Wow, you said CDs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
yeah,
we,
like
we know
We're
we know
dating
what that is. No
ourselves.
problem. We know what that is.
We're dating ourselves.
yes, yeah, yeah. Physical
Da-
media still exists, you
That's
know.
it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Dave, thank you so much for taking the time out.
Oh,
We'd
I
love to
just have
have you
one
back.
question. I have one more
Oh,
question.
anytime.
Oh, what do you? Yeah,
I have
we
one more
definitely.
question because being the
Yeah,
tipsy toaster and the computer guy, um, that now that you're teaching things you're teaching movies and things that where do you see, this is the two letters nobody likes to hear anymore. Where do
yeah,
you see AI in this? Where do you see, and even in your industry, in the writing
yeah.
industry, where do you see AI in regards to helping, hindering, advancing? Where do you see that capability?
I mean, my experience of it has been almost overwhelmingly that it's basically Skynet, right? It's been it's been an absolute plague as far as the in the academic world, right? It's just it's like given a choice between that and the bubonic plague. It's like, well, tell me about these fleas again. And in the other industries, I mean, it's can I see it helping writing? No, not at all. It's
Really?
it's just a plagiarism machine, is what it is. It just regurgitates things that have been done before, and so it's not creating any kind of art. It's just you know spitting out stuff. It can certainly produce things that are plausible enough. And so will it be in the long will it contribute to the vast flow of of content slop? Yeah, it's going to be doing that. Um, but I remain. I mean, certainly just most of the people I speak to who are creatives of one sort or another regard it with understandable suspicion because of the way that it removes the human element. But I think from art, but also perhaps because of that, there's hope that people will continue to want art actually made by human beings.
Well, that's a good point. Excellent. Oh, what do you think of that, Tipsy?
I think it's here to stay for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
it
Well,
where
yeah.
it lies in regards to innovation. I think there's a place for it in regards to art. It's tough because you got AI art,
Hmm.
but I think there is a capability in AI art that because I'm not an artist, because I can't
Yeah.
draw, it helps me at that point.
Oh,
Writing, I don't think. I think you could use it in writing, but not to replace the writer, but to help fuel the writer in regards to ideas, or if I get stuck, going somewhere
yeah.
there, going there and asking it a question, to maybe push me into this, hey, what are some ideas in regards to time travel, those kind of things. But you can really Google those as well. Um,
Yeah, no, and I can see that, right, as a sort of brainstorming device, but also very warily with that, right? And I
oh
guess
yeah,
I still so I've never used it that way myself. I prefer to go analog for the brainstorming. But I can certainly see that, and I definitely get it with art, right? I mean, I never graduated beyond stick figures,
yeah.
and even then, right? They're
Even then,
not
I
great
couldn't make
stick
the head
figures.
look right.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's fun for me to maybe something to play like, okay, here's a thing that yeah, hey, look, I did this thing. Well, no, I didn't, but
Yeah,
uh,
I told
I
it how to do
commissioned
this
it.
thing, so I did it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would never ethically be able to use something I did that way because of there's an actual human artist that I've taken the work away from now. And there's also the whole ethical question of how these things like the massive copyright infringement that
Yeah,
they
you gotta
represent.
watch that for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Well, again, Dave, thank you so much for taking time out. We would definitely love to have you come back and talk more about, maybe
Especially when
when,
you that new
yeah, release some of
Warhammer
the
book
other,
and some of the
yeah,
things that you already hinted at that you can't talk
Yeah.
about.
yeah. Oh, we'd love to have you back. You're amongst fans, and with our fans as well. I think you have a place here, and then maybe we can touch upon a little of your opinions or viewpoints on maybe something like Battlestar Galactica or some of the other, shows that we grew up on in the 70s and 80s as well would be a
Hmm.
lot, would be fun, I think.
That would be, no, I'd love to come back. Thank you.
Cool. Well,
This is
all the
great.
best, Professor.
Yep.
Here's
Yeah.
to you, and
And to you.
Yeah.
keep
Keep
going, and
keep
keep the
fueling those
faith.
fans. Keep creating new stuff.
Absolutely.
Take
Will
care.
Cheers.
do. Thank you so much. Cheers. All the best.
Hmm, that was fun. Really enjoyed that. Right? It's cool when you get to talk to someone who's, into, passionate about what they're, the whole, whether it be the horror genre, the fantasy, the
Right.
sci-fi, whatever that may be. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. And,
I
I mean,
really
he
look.
teaches this stuff.
Yeah, I want to know what kind of background he had. What kind of background he had when he started becoming a writer piece. I mean, I
Oh,
know
these are the,
he's a teacher,
yes,
a
yes.
PhD, doctor. I
Yeah.
got it.
Yep.
But what inspired him to do that? I mean, not a
Yeah.
lot of people go to school to go. You know what I want to do? I
Yeah.
want
I
to
want
be
to,
a doctorate in writing,
no
or a
kidding.
doctor like
And what's
that's
really cool,
that's real dedication, first of
yeah.
all.
And we
But
didn't
what
talk about,
inspires that? Yeah.
the teaching film, comics, and video games.
Yeah.
Nah, that's man, I was like, oh, I gotta look it up and see if he's got an online class. But that was so cool. So I'm looking forward to having him back. We have our other special guest, right? So Phil Imbriano is graphic designer, senior designer for Tops, and he's gonna come on and give us an update. Phil is not a stranger to IFB, and so he's our card guy. And we're gonna talk about what, some of the projects that he's involved in. He's always got, updates and new stuff. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from Phil, and he happens to be
Gonna have to
with
give me a
us.
second. I
Okay,
forgot.
I didn't know if you
I've got a connection problem. Hang on. Not a
okay,
connection
so
problem, but I have a
okay.
writing problem. Give me a second.
Oh, a writing problem.
Yeah.
Excellent. You don't
So
have too many of those, but
no,
yeah,
I don't have
Phil's
the lower
definitely with
third
us,
put in
and it's
correctly.
always
So
a pleasure to have him come on and bring us up to speed. I know he's been on the show before, guys. So
yes,
if you've
and
if
actually, I
you've been
think we should
watching
have
us,
him. I think we talked about having him on like a quarterly basis to talk about the different
yeah, we'll
the
we'll
cards, because I
present
know
it to
Pete,
him absolutely.
you're a big card fan.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
I'm a
and
big
and
yeah
he's got, a lot of projects that he oversees,
yeah.
and he's been in it. He's a fan. He's also, a big fan of, the genres, sci-fi and the like. So it's cool to find out what else he's up to, and maybe we can get some exclusives out of him. And it's just always a lot of fun. But and we haven't been to, it's been I think over a year that Tipsy and I attended the non-sports card show in outside of Philly, and we had a really good time. And they hosted us there, and we got to do a whole bunch of interviews that are up archived on YouTube. Everybody realizes that Meta, after 30 days, takes down live shows.
Which
However,
sucks really bad, by the way.
yeah, they did say that they were going to keep anything up that had been previously recorded. So you might be able to find some of those from the show that we did, and some of the other shows, the conventions as well. But talking about, non-sports card collectibles, we did do that, and we had a lot of fun with it. And so I think those are up. As a matter of fact, our unofficial fact checker Rob Baum had met us, and so we got to do an on-the-spot interview with Rob Baum as well. Had a lot of fun doing that, and we look forward to going back again and looking see what other cards we need to pick up. Because personally, I know there's a couple here and there that I'd like to. I'm still hunting down the General Mills, the Battlestar Galactica General Mills cards. I need about five of those so I can have my full set. So that's something I'm working on. But yeah, we're waiting now. Let's see
He's
what
there. Hang
else.
on. Just give me 1 second.
All right, cool. Phil
We
is
have
with us. I see him in the green room,
yeah,
so
I
that's
see him.
good.
I just got to add him
So
to an input.
all
He's
right,
there
cool.
now. Hang on.
All right, and
There we go.
we
I
got
love.
it. Okay.
I just gave him a new title, by the way. He's our tops
Okay,
card
our
guy.
tops
Oh, I
card
spelled
guy.
it
All
wrong.
right, hey Phil, what's up, man?
T-O-P-P-S.
How's it going, guys?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me back on.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's cooking in the world of tops, man?
We got a lot going on now. So I have some new Star Wars stuff that's out that I have
Mm.
with me to show you some samples of as well. And
Ooh.
we got a lot of entertainment stuff coming out in 2025 that I'm excited about. We got a little bit of a list here that I can give
Yeah.
you guys a little
Yep.
rundown
I have the
on stuff
pictures
that's
and
coming
I'm
out.
ready to go.
Cool. All right, let's do it. Rock and roll, man.
So here's our first
So
picture.
yeah, so that's a recent project that's just released called Star Wars Maya, which means honor in Japanese. So it's a little bit, it's the first of its kind.
Wow.
It's somewhat of a Japanese style take on Star Wars. So this is actually the base card. Those are inserts there, but this is a base card for the Star Wars Maya set. I think it's getting blurred a little bit there.
There we go.
Let me see if I can. Let me turn my blur off. There we go.
That's cool. Wow.
Blur's still there.
Yeah,
but
there you
actually-
go. Right there.
This
That's a really good shot.
you got Han Solo's name in Japanese here, so that's
Oh, that's
one of the
cool.
one of the cool things about this set is that you can see all the characters' names are in Japanese. So that's definitely new and different to
Is that the
Star
normal,
Wars cards.
size cards,
Wow,
or is
those
that
are gonna
kind of
sell out.
It looks different.
That's gonna
sized.
sell out. I could see it now.
I say that again. Sorry.
It
didn't
looked
hear
like
you.
a different
Those are gonna-
sized card. It looked like normal size. Oh,
Oh
okay.
no, yeah, these
Yeah,
are
it's just normal size. Yeah, okay.
normal size cards. Yeah,
Yeah, I predict
Well-
that's gonna sell out, Phil.
I think it already has on
Yeah.
Tops.com.
Oh
There you
gosh.
Yeah.
Well, so much for everybody going and getting one.
you gotta go.
Gotta move
aftermarket,
fast in this
unfortunately.
world.
Yeah.
Oh, especially with Star Wars, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to look at Reddit now and again just to see what fans are saying. There's a bunch of Star Wars collector pages on there, and people seem to really like these a lot just because it's a different take, doing like a Japanese style, I guess Star Wars card. And these also released in Japan
Wow.
as well, and then those were fully in Japanese, front and back.
Oh,
So what you're seeing there is we had some artists do some original art for this product as well. So those the one on the left there is like bounty hunters, all the bounty hunters, and the one on the right is I think Boba Fett riding the Rancor.
nice. Oh, that's
So you-
cool.
And then those is another artist. She's a famous Marvel artist actually, Peach Momoko. She did we have some of her original art in this set as well. She has a great style, a great like watercolor style, which of course is very fitting for this product.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, so these are the inserts we're looking at now?
Yeah, so what you're looking at now is the base card on the left there, and then the autograph of the autograph card of the base on the right there. I actually have this. I have that Andor one right here.
Ooh.
Can see an Andor? Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
he's
that's
pretty
nice.
popular now
Yeah.
with the show and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Season
it's a
2
great
saved
show.
that one.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about some of the Disney Star Wars stuff, but that's one of the better ones for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah.
I just finished rewatching the last episode and then watched Rogue One yesterday, like right after it. It's
Oh, yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah, really, really good stuff. So that set that you're showing, it has already been released, is
Yes.
already basically sold out. So it's going to be in the what is the aftermarket, secondary market, if anybody wants to try to get that.
It's for the base cards. It's nothing too crazy.
Okay.
You can get lots on eBay for pretty cheap, but of course, autos for anybody are always pretty
Oh, yeah,
pricey.
big time.
Those are always tough to get, just in general, for any
That's pretty
aftermarket
cool.
product.
I'm still
Do you
hunting
know-
down a couple of
Do you
those,
know
too.
how many which actors are actually involved in the signings for the cards?
Yeah, they I mean they have everybody that's he's popular, famous in that product.
Wow.
Luke, Han, Chewbacca. I think I saw Chewbacca Han dual auto, if I
Oh,
recall correctly.
wow. Oh,
Yes,
that's
Wow.
cool.
yes. So that Star Wars Mayo has a Chewbacca Han dual auto,
Those are
which is
cool. Wow. So what else? So that's Star Wars. What else you got for us?
Oh, you still got these too, by the way, the Chrome
Oh,
Blacks.
that one. I wanted to show you. Yeah, so this one
ooh.
I designed this card. The Star Wars Mayo was designed by two other talented designers on my team. So that product was on my team, but this card here I designed, and it's a little bit different type of a card. It's called a shadow box card, and what that means is it's like very thick, very layered thick. So
Ooh.
you can see it kind of gives some depth in there, and then if it turns to the side, you can really
Holy
Oh,
see
crap.
how many layers are in there. Yeah, so this is 8 layers, including the
oh,
back. It's eight.
wow.
It's 8 layers. So this is kind of a different type of card, and it's one of the things that we're doing at Tops is trying to reinvent the card and come up with new technologies and different ways to bring this great content and great popular culture into cards. Because of
Oh,
course,
wow.
comparing the difference between
Oops.
this, I mean, this is just a regular card, right? So
Hmm.
regular card on one side, you can see the kind of the difference there.
Looks like
Oh,
almost
wow.
a
Yeah.
quarter
Yeah,
inch. Yeah, or an eighth inch.
yeah, it's
That's
it's super thick.
cool.
So we're doing these a lot now with, especially with entertainment. We're doing this a lot. It's in a lot of different products, and it's cool. It's cool to look at in hand, and it's just got like a lot of nice depth to it.
Oh, yeah. And so
And
you
then
said you were in charge of this one? This is a set that you oversaw?
this is something I designed. Yeah, I designed
Oh,
this card.
wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So also in this set, like you just showed there on the screen, it also has Sith weapons and Sith vehicles and things like that. So the name of the set is Depths of the Dark Side. So it's all dark side people, and they got a Darth Revan in there. I thought that was interesting because you don't really see him too often. Of course, he's from Knights of the Old Republic lore and that sort of thing. So that was interesting. And this is an auto that I designed as well in this product. It's called
Cool.
Duality of the Galaxy. And
Wow.
one of the things that it's a part of what I do is seeing the cards in the end is always rewarding because you don't really get to see how that color comes out. Like for example, the parallel, like that last one was an orange, and this one is like a half blue, half red type of dark side, light side type of thing. So to see the kind of the colors print is the rewarding part, and to see how it interacted and if I made the right choices of where it goes and that sort of thing. So that's the rewarding part for me as my process of designing some of the stuff.
Bill, how long does it take you to put that something together? Like can you explain like, all right, you had a vision. I mean, this is part of your background as a designer. You came up with, the layout.
Mhm.
Somewhere along the line, there's like X number of characters, and you decide, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do what was the blue and the red, and I want it to kind of look like this. How many
Mhm.
hoops do you have to jump through to get that?
So short answer is I would say it takes anywhere between 1 to 3 days to design a card, right? So
Oh,
at best case scenario, one day. At worst case scenario, maybe 3, 4, 5 days. Just depends what else is going on and what other projects I'm working on. But as far as like that example there, like making it half red, half blue, that's already thought out by the product team. They kind of make the bones of all of these products, and then they bring it to the art team and say, "Here you go. This is what we're trying to make." So that specific parallel they would have came up with and said, "We want to do a red and blue parallel to represent light side, dark side in this specific set." So then it's of course up to me to figure out how to make that red and blue work within a design or within that set. But as far as like the look and all that sort of thing, that's all my end and the art end. The product team is just really looking for the idea. So the idea here was really more of a loose one, duality of the galaxy. The title itself kind of open ended. So um, as far as my process, I like to look at, of course, in this case, Star Wars, a lot of metal or a lot of architecture, things like that work well with Star Wars. So that's kind of where I go when I'm designing a Star Wars car, just like sleek metal and architecture and things like that.
Wow. Did you ever have the opportunity to, I mean, I know that, you're like the director, you're at the, you're at the top, so to speak, of the pyramid, but and then, you have a team of workers, but did you ever say, what, this particular character might work best than this one, or do they give you a list and say, these are the guys you're going to work with? How strict is that?
So yeah, the subject lists are created again by the product team and the editors. So we have a big chain of people that are you know involved in this process. I think that's the one thing that just to hold this card, a single card in your hand, there's like such a big pipeline that it goes through to get to your hands. So I would say the very first step is like the product team developing this product and coming up with it and writing it out essentially, and then after that it comes to the art team. We're creating the look, we're creating the design, we're creating how it looks and everything, and then from there it'll get passed off to you know our print production team and our editors, who then will create the files, or not create the files, but prepare the files for print, and the editors will then crop all the photos into the actual templates themselves. So it's such a huge process that that this stuff is involved in, and that's for every single set across every single product that Tops does. So you can imagine how big these pipelines are for all different products that Tops makes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it takes a village, right? It's not just a
Absolutely,
one man
absolutely a
operation.
village.
That's
Yes.
so cool. Um, so if if you had to, choose any one of the subject matters that are out there now, whether it's a historical one or a
Mhm.
sci-fi one, do you have a preference? And I'm talking non-sports. Is there anything that's in rattling around in your head?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Marvel stuff. That's where I feel I do my best work because I'm just so passionate about it. So that's really where I love to design. Every time I get a Marvel product, assigned to me and my team, I just love it. It's fun to work on. And that was one of the things I want to talk to you guys about. So down the line later this year, we got a ton more Marvel products coming out.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Um, yes, a couple of them that I can talk about with you guys are
Cool.
um, 2025 Tops Infinity MCU Phase 1. So
Ooh,
that's something that's going to release this year and that I worked
okay.
on, and I'm super excited about it. So when it comes out, I can come back on and give you
Yeah.
guys a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
rundown of it.
Especially
Oh,
we got
for
some pictures
sure.
too. Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
great.
So yeah, that's coming down the pipeline. We also have Topps Chrome Deadpool coming down the pipeline.
Oh, yeah. That would be
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah. And next week, actually, we have our year over year Marvel Chrome product coming out. So just like, the comics basically in a product, comic stuff. So that's
Cool.
our year over year Topps Chrome for Marvel.
Wow.
And then what else do we have? An interesting one, a couple interesting ones. 2025 Topps Chrome SpongeBob. That's it's an interesting
Really?
that's it's an
Chrome
interesting one
SpongeBob.
coming out down the pipeline this year. Yeah. And then Topps Toy Story 30th anniversary
Oh,
will
Wow.
also
well,
will
that's
also come out this
unusual.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of. We're really trying to expand on the entertainment stuff in 2025 and beyond.
Cool. Well, there's a market for all of this. Could be Toy Story was was done by somebody else. It wasn't done.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
I'd bought a box for my son at the time, was in the age
Okay.
range, and it wasn't done right.
Hmm.
It was too big of a set, and one
Yeah.
box was not enough.
Hmm.
And to try to chase, just a base set down was just like, what is going on here? What is the matter with these
Yeah.
guys? So you guys doing it, Tops, I think they know what they're doing. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of those.
Yeah, I've also worked on that one as well. So when that
Cool.
comes out, we can show you guys some designs for those as well.
Cool.
And I guess another one that's kind of interesting too is 2025 Disneyland 70th anniversary. So kind of a
Oh,
70th anniversary of Disneyland product
oh,
that will also
really?
release later. Yeah,
When's
Like,
that
another
scheduled?
this year, scheduled for
This
this
year?
year as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. And do can I know that Topps now has like a shop online. You can actually
Mhm.
buy some of these things, right?
Yeah, everything that releases comes out on Topps.com, but like you said, it pretty much sells out fairly quickly. But of course, hobby shops and comic shops sell cards as well, and it's getting bigger and bigger. I mean, cards are, in my opinion, I think that they're the biggest that they've ever been. It's just there's so much down the pipeline that it's coming out, and it finally feels like cards are mainstream, I guess is the word for it,
Yeah.
which, maybe in the past it wasn't really like that, but I feel like today, like even with, especially with sports cards, like they're absolutely mainstream. There's tons of athletes that are, out there collecting and making videos about their collections and things like that, which is just really cool to see. Yeah,
So
Series 2 also released recently, Top Series 2 for baseball,
are
which
is
is,
does Topps make any soccer cards?
oh yeah, it's huge, and we have a whole flagship London store now. Actually, Fanatics.
Wow.
They just recently opened an entire Fanatics store in London, which is basically the flagship store. So they sell cards there and that whole thing, and they have
Oh
tons
yeah.
tons of stuff on display in London at
Wow.
that store. Yeah.
Very cool. Uh Phil, before anything else, can you show us the back of the Star Wars cards?
Oh yes, that I had here.
Yeah.
So here, actually, I didn't show you this one. This is Luke
Ooh.
Skywalker.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, nice. His name is really long in Japanese, actually.
huh?
Yes.
Oh, that's
But yeah, this
cool.
is the back.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you have to have a good back as
Yeah.
well.
of
It's not just the
course, of
front, but
course.
oh,
So,
Th-
cool.
I don't think I showed you
whoops.
this one, but this is from the Topps Chrome Black. This is the base
Ooh.
card for the Topps Chrome Black.
Oh, wow. And
It's
and
got
give
like
us
a varnish on it as well, so it's got like a smooth finish.
oh, wow. Give us the back on that
This
too. Yeah.
this has a good back as well.
Oh, wow. And they're numbered on the front or the back? No, the back. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, the top there is the card number.
Number.
The
Okay, cool.
Grand
Yeah,
Inquisitor.
Love it,
I've
man.
Grand Inquisitor. Yes.
I'm gonna plug it. I'm sorry, Pete. This is not something you should do with a guest. Put him on the spot. But we're kind of sponsoring a cerebral palsy event
Yep.
in New York, and wondering if there's some way you might want to donate something to that charity auction.
Yep.
If you can,
Sure,
you don't have to
I
do it
would be
now. You don't have
interested.
to do it
Yeah,
now. But
absolutely.
I just want to
Yep.
throw it out there, and we would
Yeah.
like to help that out. So if reach with us online and offline and see if that's
Yep.
something you would be able to do.
July
Of course. Yeah.
19th.
Let me
July
know about it.
19th, Phil, is it's the mini con and the Empire City Garrison of the 501 they host it and all of the proceeds go to the charity and so
Yep.
we're
We've
going
donated
for a
some
second
things. We'd
time.
like to,
Yeah,
if it's
we always
possible.
donate. They have auction they auction off, whole like
Sorry to put
bundles
you on
of
the spot
things
like
and
that. I didn't mean to.
yeah, but
No,
if
don't
you
worry.
can, it'd
If
be
I
really
didn't,
cool.
I'm ADD, so if I didn't say something now, I'd forget it. So later on,
No, don't worry. I would love to. Thank you for mentioning it.
yeah,
That'd be cool. Yeah,
that'd be
this
amazing.
way
They
we
would
could-
really appreciate it.
Oh heck yeah! And then we obviously would
And they're
give
big
you
Star Wars fans. So.
big Star Wars
Shocker.
fans, and we'd make sure they'd love all this top stuff and give credit and all. So, we'll next time. When do you think you can come back to us, Phil? When do you have
Yep.
an inkling as to when you're going to come back?
Um, we could do maybe July or August or
Okay.
whenever,
Okay.
sometime in the
Yeah,
late
I mean,
summer,
I'd
I
like
guess.
I'd like to
Yeah.
throw it out there. I know Pete talked to me about it, but and Pete just told me to be quiet real quick if it's not something I think about doing. But anyways, Too late now, Pete. I'm going to mention anyways. We'd like to have you on like a common, like we have specific people that come on,
on a regular rotation.
On a regular rotation.
Sure.
We'd love
Yeah.
you to be our representative to the Topps cards as well as the non-sports cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be, we'd love that. To love you to be our
Cool.
what is it, man on the street type
Sure,
thing.
I'd
From
love to
Topps,
do that.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Phil. We always love having you. You give us some really cool insights. I mean, it's always fun to hear, the inside story, what goes on behind the curtain, and you always do that for us, and we love seeing all the cards, and I mean, you're a designer, and you
The
you
designing
work on
piece
the
is just
stuff,
amazing.
so-
I love the idea.
So cool.
Who would have
Love it.
thought? So much design goes into one card. It's just amazing.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Phil, here's to you and Topps.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
You fuel the fleet because you fuel the fans. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm.
Midtown Comics Glass. That's
Yeah, that's right, baby.
There you go.
There we go.
There you
I
go.
can tell you one thing. Midtown Comics, it doesn't last in the dishwasher.
Oh yeah. I get my pull list from them every month.
There you go. Thanks again, Phil. We'll see you soon,
Thank you, guys.
man. Really appreciate you taking the time. So, I mean, that was cool, man. I knew that, Star Wars has a lot of cards. They come out on a regular basis, but the ones that, Phil showed us are like really, really cool. So, glad that he was able to share that, and looking forward to having him back and giving us some more. So
We have
there's
Dr.
a couple
Macaulay
of
back.
things. Oh, the doc is back.
Hello,
Doctor.
everybody. Hello. I was talking to. Oh no, I'm not supposed to tell you who I was talking to, but an actor who was in the Supernatural TV series.
Really?
One of our listeners knows who I'm talking about. But anyway,
Oh, boy.
Dag.
I had to dip out because of that. So there you go.
Okay. Well, I just
What do you
want
got,
to
Pete?
mention
Pete,
that this
hang on.
came through.
Hang on,
got
Pete.
this.
Pete's throwing stuff up. I'm not ready for it yet. Dang it, Pete. Hold
Gangland's
still.
doing
Hold
it.
still, Pete. There we
Very
go.
nice. Very, very nice. Yeah.
Right?
And we would have never known
Shadow
Pete
of
is
the
a
Pulps.
big Shadow
Big
fan.
Shadow fan. Steve Donoso. This was from the latest Kickstarter that they did. And this is one of the fulfillments. Steve, thank you very much. You guys are awesome. This is what I got, some really cool artwork. And
Oh, is that the original artwork, or is that just a
no, this is all unique stuff that
Ooh.
was
What was that?
for
Oh,
look at that.
that's nice.
yeah. And so that was part of one
The
of their
Shadow
campaigns.
knows.
Absolutely.
Hang on, wait a minute.
There you go.
There we go.
Now you're talking. Yeah. And so Doc, what do you got? Because go ahead.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, I'm not really supposed to talk about it. but
surprise!
I was talking to a actor who's been Supernatural about some an audio drama
Oh,
he might be appearing in.
I
He's also-
love me some audio dramas.
Yeah, he's also Batman, so that'll narrow that down.
You said it wrong.
we'll
You
just
said
leave it at that.
Batman.
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta do it right. Hang on.
Anyway, so that's why I had to nip off and chat to
Okay,
him.
business.
But yeah, listen, Shadow, love the Shadow. Got into the Shadow because of you, Pete.
That's right.
I wrote a couple of fan fiction stuff and bits and pieces, but
Okay.
yeah, I've been listening to the 1930s and 1940s audios. Right
Oh, I
now.
Some of
love
those are
those.
really
I love
good.
these.
Some of
Those
them
are
are
just
so
they're like
good.
plays on the radio are just amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
There was
very atmospheric.
Yep.
Very atmospheric.
There's a newer the thing that really got me into it was Katie Cosmos. Katie Cosmos. Look it up. You'll have a good time with it. It's a great little audio drama. The people, the actors, put it together, and they really do a really good job at it. But you get to see them acting it out on stage, as well as hearing the audio drama, which is fun because. I mean, normally you would just listen to the audio drama, but in this case, you get to see them acting it on stage and reading the lines, and and it looks like they have a really good time with each other. So I think it's Katie Cosmos. Try that one out. So if you ever get a chance. But that's I love those. Those are so much fun. You can listen to an audiobook, and I love me some audiobooks, but I do love the adding in the Foley sounds, adding in the music, adding that stuff into it. It really becomes much more than an audiobook. It's your audio drama, as you said. It's
Yes.
more of a play in your head, and you can actually see it,
Yeah.
going on.
You want to invite the listener into the drama a little
Right.
bit. So
And
that's what it's all
the
about.
visuals that you can create just
Yeah.
by utilizing those few things, the Foley sounds and the music and things.
Oh yeah.
You really get the listener involved.
I've been very lucky to sort of direct AAA audio
Yep.
dramas with Hollywood talent, and what's fantastic is the vocal nuance that they can, you can bring them into, so the depth, the sound,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
that,
And we have
things like that.
you've actually written a, quite a few audio dramas. Uh,
Yeah.
Three of them are in the world of the Tower Protocol. One of them
Yes.
is out.
Right now.
It's short and it's out free for everybody to listen. It's on IFB. It's on our YouTube, and it's also on the Tower Protocol Facebook page. So
Yep.
if you guys want, it's out there. It's a short. It's under 10 minutes, and that's the first of three. And there's another two that we're putting together that as we speak are in production, post production.
If the first one's up for an award, I think, or is potentially up for an award.
Potentially up
So
for an award,
yeah,
absolutely. So we'll
yeah.
hear soon. But
Vocalized by Jeff Kirkland.
That's right, Jeff Kirkland. And
Yeah,
the second one that we're going to be releasing is starring Tiny Bean. Tiny
yeah.
Bean Tara is playing a character from the Tower Protocol, and she's starring in that. And then the third one, we have another very talented actor that's going to be
Yes,
voicing the character. So,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes. It's
all
all
good.
good. And I love those sort of vocal audio dramas because they utilize the actors in a different way.
Yep.
Uh, Jeff, Jeff's a great actor. You know, you watch him in Tar Protocol Resurrection, he's very physical. He's a very physical actor. And then when you listen to him here, the vocal aspect, the strong vocal aspect comes forward with him. So it's nice to be able to utilize actors in that way too,
Yep.
you know. Um, but yeah, so yeah, and I've got other things going on, Doctor Who audios and or one of the audio dramas I'd love to do is Dick Tracy.
Oh,
Oh
really?
wow,
Chester
that's
Gould's
unique.
Dick Tracy. Yeah, Dick Tracy. I read a lot of Dick Tracy when I was younger.
Okay.
Just before the movie came out, I was a very young kid. I was about 5 years old, and I used to read Chester Gould's Dick Tracy. And then the movie came out with it was Warren Beatty and Madonna.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Oh yeah,
Jesus, I'll tell you, there's two women that I watched, and I knew I was a straight man. Was Madonna in Dick Tracy and Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns.
Okay.
Christ, those two girls. Some people it's Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface, another great
no,
film.
yeah.
But yeah, when you see her in Batman Returns as Selena Kyle and Catwoman, fantastic. And Madonna is Breathless Mahoney in Dick Tracy the movie,
Yep,
amazing.
yep.
You know, pulp's a legitimate form of
Oh
literature.
yeah, absolutely.
You've got the Phantom, which came. There was the Defenders of the Earth when I was a kid was a big cartoon, right? And you had Flash Gordon and Mandrake and Luthor and the Phantom, right? And they were all the
Oh
classic.
yeah.
They were all the classic pulp fiction stars.
Yeah.
And then you had like what the Shadow. Alec Baldwin, Phantom Billy Zane. Who else did you have in that era? You know a lot in that era that came out in the 90s, right? So pulp's alive and well, and I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, it is. There's a couple of conventions out there dedicated strictly to the pulp world, the pulp genre, and it's out there. It hasn't gone away. But there's something else that I kind of wanted to talk about. You have jumped in yourself into the fan fiction writing
Have I? Yes,
very
suppose.
successfully. And
Possibly. Possibly.
I
Oh
dug up
God.
this
Yep.
Star Searches, right? March 1983. And it's, it
There's
was,
no AI images on the front cover of that one.
no, definitely not. That's what makes it so
Oh,
cool, man. I mean, look at that,
That's
right?
yeah.
that's fan
And
drawn there.
yeah.
I wasn't even born then. That's how scary that is. I wasn't
Oh
even
boy.
around.
Ah, okay.
Well, this
Oh, hang
this
on, I got to do this one for
fanzine,
that.
yeah,
Frack.
this fanzine is from New York City. It's from Queens. And it says submissions and comments are most welcome and should be sent to Star Searches, PO Box 93, Ozone Park, New York, which is not that far away from where I am. And it has, your briefings, short stories, and
Yeah.
a list of the individuals that are involved,
It's all
the
typed.
editor.
It's all typed up. I mean,
Yeah, it's
Yes.
all typed
yeah.
up.
I've got a couple that got dot matrix typing.
Yeah, and this is actually
Jesus.
type, but they're fun. I'll show you guys one of the you talked about a little bit of art. All of these. Look, there's some poems and really real short stories, a little bit of artwork, and this is, I believe, one of the lesser known. Here's a picture of a colonial warrior. I think I'm not sure who exactly it
That's
is,
looking a
but
little scary to tell you the truth.
yeah, a little bit, but that's okay.
That could be
It's
a
allowed.
horror. I like
It
that.
could be a horror one, yeah. But I'm just curious to know if any of the fans know any of these names. Tristan Steele, Michelle Breyer, Robbie Lynn, Nancy London, Susan Rothenberg, Judy Greenberg was a proofreader, Jody Wallach, Lee Damask was the typist. Imagine that, typist. And
Wow,
Jesus.
yeah,
typist. You know?
Yeah.
right? The typist for this fanzine. It's not one of the big name ones. Richard Alexander
Not clean
is
slate
was
press or anything like that. It's
no, yeah, this is really, really small one. And so I don't know, you guys, if any of you know any of these names, if you know any of these people, we'd love to have them come on the show and
Yeah.
talk to us about this. It's kind of cool. It's the lost, those that were the mystery, the mysterious, background to whatever happened to, right? These, the editors and the publishers of fanzines like this, like even Sharon Monroe has totally disappeared, and we'd love to try to get her
I
on the
reached
show
out
and,
and actually
and tell us
talked
some of
talked
those
kind of to her,
stories.
but she's no, not
So
here.
so
You're
when
going to
did
find that rather difficult.
so when did the original Battlestar finish?
78 to
1979?
79.
78?
Yep.
Yep.
Well,
That's
if you
1983.
don't
So,
include the
Yeah.
1980,
well, no, we don't, because it was shit. It was
no, there was
Right.
Return to
shit.
Starbuck. Come on now.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So
but it
this
was
is
it was all shit. That was shit. But this you're talking about. So it filmed in 1979. This
yeah.
is 1983.
Yeah.
So there were people who were keeping Battlestar alive
Yes.
in
Even
there,
after
and then making
Yes.
experiencing
it work.
Galactic in
Now
1980.
you imagine how hard it is to
Yeah.
keep Battlestar alive in the decades we're talking about here, right?
Yeah.
Decades. So that's a fascinating process.
It is. And so it would be really cool to try to catch up to some of these people and find out. I didn't get a chance to dive in, Doc, and find out if there were multiple issues because this one's
Yeah.
not numbered. It doesn't
Yeah.
say it's usually I'll say number one or whatever. It doesn't say that. And I'd never seen it before. So I thought it was kind of interesting to just put it out there and see if we can maybe find some of these writers and find out, what they did, what inspired them at the time, how they came about doing it. And there's obviously stories everywhere. And since we're fans, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We have our own homage to Battlestar Galactica that we all collectively are working on, which has been announced by Crystal Lake
Oh
Publishers,
yes, of course. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yes.
So,
Yeah,
and
yeah. So we can say that Lorette is signed on with that one. She
yep.
signed last night, so we can
Woohoo!
talk. It's great. But yeah, I'm very much on board with classic Battlestar, and we are very committed to bringing classic Battlestar and its ethos back. So I'm going to
Kicking
let
and
people.
screaming, but we'll bring it back.
No,
we
I
gotta
think it's
we gotta beat the
yeah.
people that own the freaking IP right now.
Well, we are moving towards that. Let's
All
leave it
right.
that way.
We'll leave it at
Give
that.
it
But we
back to the
definitely
We're
fans.
want
moving
to,
towards that. But yeah, I think it's very important to have that sort of the ethos of it.
yeah,
It's very powerful. And like for people of my generation, we grew up with no classic Battlestar Galactica. We had modern Battlestar Galactica, which is great. Most of it was really good up to about the last season.
yeah,
Last season kind of lost its way a little
it
bit, and I
did.
think it was like, let's just finish this
Yeah,
quickly. But most of it was quite good. So it did address that Caprica addressed the
which is great.
dangers.
Yeah,
Yeah, addressed the dangers of AI. Deus Ex Machina, Ghost in the Machine.
Yep.
A lot of cyberpunk stuff in there. It was fascinating to see the origins of the Centurion in that way and in that manner. I'm not sure that I would do it that way. In fact, I know I wouldn't. I think I would go back to the
Yes.
original reptilian
Yes.
concepts there.
Yes.
But it was interesting to see how that was reimagined
right.
Yep.
for a modern audience. But yeah, so look, we're all working towards, all of us here, IFB, XG3, with Eric Larson, we're working towards bringing stories that evoke that classic feel.
The hero worship, the buddy
Yeah,
picture of it, the
Yeah.
family, well, not family friendly, but
but
it's
Some of
this,
it is.
yeah,
Some of
some
it
of it
is.
is.
I,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think, our first project's very family
very
friendly.
family friendly.
And I think that's important. And it's about imagination, and it's something that I would be quite comfortable having kids watch.
Yes.
Now, I'm not necessarily known for that. I'm
However-
Wait, you're
Yeah.
kidding me, right? No way. Come on now.
You know.
you've released a couple of YA books.
Oh well, yeah, they're award-winning Amazon number
Yeah, come
ones.
on.
Yeah, they're not violent in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. But yes, I'm mostly known as a master of horror, and also, so we will probably over a course of time have more adult-related content,
Right.
and I think
Wait,
that's perfectly
let's
healthy
let's
and fine.
let's
You
not
know.
say adult. Let's say. Uh,
Well,
let's rephrase that one because we'll start
hey,
OnlyFans now
listen,
again.
let's be honest. If Michelle Pfeiffer wants to appear in any of my adult-friendly content, or my friend Lucy Lawless wants to appear in anything,
Wow, there's one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow.
yeah,
But let
yeah.
me tell you
So
this.
yeah,
There's another thing that we are pursuing. I know that the Tipsy Toaster is hot on the trail of the second coming.
Yes.
And we've been trying to tease out whether or not there is a 30-minute reel of the second coming There was, I think, like a 4.5 minute official, but there's still
Right.
talk. Some I've read some responses out on Meta and social media
And we've
saying
seen a couple of the
definitively
clips.
no, there
Yeah.
is no 30 minute, there is no such thing. However, we've seen some other clips and
Yeah. We've seen some of
Tipsy,
the clips, the takeaways, those kind of things.
yeah,
So, I want to reach out to anybody out there right now that may have information. I've been reaching out to a couple of people, trying to get them all wrangled up. We really want to honor this concept that was created by Richard Hatch.
yep,
And I think the best way we could do that is to a couple of things. If we can get away with showing it, if it actually does exist, the 30-minute does exist. We've seen some clips, some outtakes from it. We'd love to get a hold of that if there's possible. Look, we're not trying to make money on this. We're trying to fuel the fleet. I mean, this is something that Richard put together with his own money, with his own. He mortgaged his house, his second mortgage on his house, to create this. And even though it wasn't picked up, it was still what I'm going to call a fan film. Because Richard was probably one of the biggest fans of Battlestar Galactica.
yep.
So we'd love to get together with a group of people in one big podcast here, right on IFB, to kind of relive what you went through, some of the storylines, some of the stuff that went on in regards to, behind the scenes. What was, was it well prepared? Was it? I mean, even craft services. What did you guys have to eat? I mean, I've heard red vines and soda. So if there's anybody out there, please reach out to us.
And Jack Stauffer's coming too.
Yep,
Don't
Jack
forget
Stauffer's
that.
coming.
Yep.
Jack Stauffer's coming on to talk about it.
Yeah.
And by the end of this month, that's kind of what my deal was with him. So we want to get that. He'll come on and talk about his part in it. But it would be great. I mean, even if we get Jack Stauffer on as well with anybody else. Really looking for anybody who was involved in the writing, because we want to know what the storyline was. We don't know what the storyline is. It's one of those things where we kind of got an idea, but I'm seeing, in the trailer and in some of the cuts, we're seeing some of the Cylons being the lizard people again. So give us some information on that. We'd love to know more about it, being some of the fans. And I know some people said that it was, Richard kind of finished those out in the books that he did, Armageddon, and those ones. But I want to really, kind of experience it through Richard's eyes in regards to what was his dream in regards to this movie, or this clip, what word I'm looking for, pitch. That's it. The pitch that they wanted to do. I think it would be fun to have that. And if you are involved, if you have any information, reach out to us at Interfleet Broadcasting right here on Facebook, or you can reach out to me, ttchris at interfleetbroadcasting.com. We would love to talk to you and have you on, even if you don't want to come on. And I know some people are a little shy of being on air. Give us the story. Give us a write up of it. That would be fantastic. So that's my plea for tonight. Other than Marin, call me.
All right, enough. All right, guys. Oh my God, Doc. Any closing comments?
Oh Jesus! How the fuck do you follow that? I mean, it's basically like, if you have a problem and no one else can help, and you can find them, maybe you can hire
1-800
Toaster.
TT Chris.
Tipsy Toaster. But yeah, no, I think it's been a great show. Fantastic. The only plug I have to give is, if you're a Warhammer fan and you've liked Space Marine 2, go and purchase Space Marine Master Crafted Edition. I actually was involved in that. There it is there. It's out now.
Wow.
It's out two days ago.
Nice.
I was involved in that one.
On...
And it's on Steam, it's on Xbox, It's the updated edition of Space Marine 1, which came out in 2010.
Wow.
And yeah,
It's hard to believe. Like
fantastic.
you say 2010, you're like, oh, it's not. Oh no, wait a minute.
It's
That's
a
15
long
years
time
ago.
ago, but we have it's been remastered. So obviously we featured Space Marine 2 last year on our show, but they've gone back and remastered Space Marine 1, and it tells you the story of Titus and what really happens
Cool.
before Space Marine 2. So it's hyper violent, and you get to kill a lot of fucking orcs.
Oh boy.
And
There we go.
and you know what? There's multiplayer. The multiplayer works. You can play exterminatus mode, and that's almost horde mode and stuff like that. So anyway, Games Workshop asked me to plug that because today it was for IFB was a Warhammer friendly zone.
Absolutely. All right.
We-
Well said, Doc McCoy.
Today in IFB, we got hammered.
Oh
I
yeah, we
mean,
did.
Warhammer.
Well,
No,
some
you
of,
did.
some of us did. I
I'm
have
not
to
hammered
admit.
yet, but I can try.
Yeah,
Hang
yeah,
on.
I have to admit, I've had a few, but
All
he's
right.
going for it. Well, he's going for it.
You know,
We
I had a
should
headache
actually-
before I started. Now I feel fine.
Well,
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
know what
yeah.
do you know what we should do? We should have actually just a show
Hmm.
where everybody just gets fucking pissed.
Well,
And we review modern sci-fi, classic sci-fi. We should do a 12-hour. Do you know what? We should do a 12-hour charity stream where Tipsy, Pete, and I
Try to
drink.
stay sober. Well, Pete's never going to
No,
get
no,
drunk.
no,
I've
no,
never
no,
seen
no,
Pete
no,
drunk.
no.
I don't think if we can get Pete drunk, I would be
He
I would be-
traveled.
impressed.
He traveled to Canada. He traveled to Canada. His wife picked out beers for us. And to be fair, Janet picked out the most horrendous beers. I had the most explosive diarrhea after the beers that Janet picked out. He didn't fucking touch them. This fucking cunt to the side of me decided.
whoa,
Yeah.
Damn, I was slow on that one.
You had a sip. You had a sip. Now, fair play to you. You had a sip. I ended up fucking downing that can
oh my God,
and,
this
and
is like
regretting it. I had explosive diarrhea. It was terrible. But Pete was the clever one. He had a couple of sips and was like, "Oh well, yeah,
not
you know,
happening.
with that." But we should do a charity stream where
Well,
We've done
we
marathons.
all.
We did a 6-hour.
Yeah,
Well, let's-
we did 6
let's-
hour, but it wasn't charity.
That-
I think
That's not a
I think
marathon.
you're onto something. So
This,
I would
That's
I
not
would
a
have
marathon. The marathon drinking session.
I would have
is-
thrown something
is-
else out
listen,
there.
that's for the
Hold on.
Battlestar Bulletin. No, I'm sorry, the Battlestar Bar and Grill.
Yep. Why we
Well,
haven't
we
started
could do
that one
that,
yet.
right? We could
Yeah.
do that, right? Here's what we could do, right? And I've got
Mm-hmm.
contacts, so let's do a Doctor Who marathon on Doctor Who's anniversary for charity. I will bring on various Doctor Who celebrities that have to take a shot with us, including
wow.
including several doctors,
Oh wow.
their companions, and possibly the current showrunner.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
drink.
You heard it here
So,
on IFB.
tell you
We're gonna
what,
have a Doctor
we'll-
Who special
Right,
marathon.
we'll do a charity show
Yeah.
for a charity of our choice that we'll sit and work out.
Right.
Yeah.
But we will bring on various Doctor Who celebrities, and we'll try and stay sober
Yes.
throughout
Well,
most of it. And we'll
Speaking
do
of, yeah, go ahead.
yes. So we'll do some third Doctor episodes, fourth Doctor episodes, sixth Doctor episodes, a seventh Doctor episode, and then we will do maybe if I can get this arranged, we'll maybe do a
Boy.
Peter Capaldi episode.
Wow.
Ooh.
All right. All right, guys. You heard it
We could do
here
that.
on. You heard
So-
it here on IFB. We're going to do a charity marathon episode and it's going to revolve around Doctor Who. We're going to have some of the celebrities
Doctor.
directly involved. They're
Oh,
going to
sorry.
jump in on our marathon to be announced, right? To be determined on dates.
Yeah, we'll do it this
So,
year. I think
yeah, we'll do it this
we'll
year.
do it this year.
So-
Why not? And
Yeah.
we'll do it as a charity thing. So,
Yeah.
and then the challenge is down to Pete, because Pete's got to go and grab as many Budweisers as he can and
Okay.
start
We
drinking.
got to
Right?
stop every 5 minutes for the
You know,
bathroom. Man.
look, Tipsy and I can probably handle it. I know.
I think we're okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I know Sylvester McCoy. So here's a big story.
Yeah.
Sylvester McCoy was in the Ukraine 2 days ago,
Oh wow.
Wow.
challenging Putin with a friend of mine, Mickey Lewis. Mickey Lewis is one of the monsters. He's basically been the monster in New Who, like the Daleks and all sorts of things. He's also writing an intro to a official Doctor Who book that I've written that's coming out this year. But anyway, he and Sylvester decided they would travel over to Kiev for a convention. They were shelled and bombed by Putin for 5 fucking days.
What?
Sylvester kept
Wow.
his cool, met the fans, hugged the fans, kept it going. Sylvester's a bloody legend, and I've worked with him before. He is a
Wow.
bloody legend.
Wow.
But I was getting basically every day. Mickey was sending me stories, and it was bloody terrifying.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
and
I'm sure.
so Mickey's one of the Daleks in New Who. He's been one of the Daleks since the Eccleston series, and in his Dalek voice, he said "fuck Putin" and everybody clapped. And I mean they were shelled.
Wow.
Putin knew he says that Putin knew they were there, and he was shelled all the way there. They were shelled when they were at the convention, and they were shelled all the way back.
I guess
Uh,
he's not a Doctor Who fan.
Well, no, he's a cunt. Anyway,
All right. Whoa,
uh,
boy. Come on.
but McCoy, Sylvester, my doctor, cool as a cucumber.
All right, well,
Doesn't-
let's bring him
didn't-
on, man.
Didn't phase him. So possibly we could maybe get him on. But that's what's been going on in Doctor Who fandom for the last 3 or 4 days. These guys have gone out. They've challenged Putin. They've met fans. They've they have and I love Mickey Lewis. He's an amazing guy. Like these guys have basically challenged fascism with sci-fi. And look, Sylvester's in his 80s,
Wow.
and he took the flight to Poland, and then he took the bus to Kiev,
Wow.
and they were getting shelled the whole way there.
Wow. That's
And I
cool.
was getting up to date
Wow.
reports from the two of them, and I'm telling you guys, he has got the Seventh Doctor has balls of steel.
All right. Well, let's get him
you
on,
know?
man. Let's do this. So you heard it here on
Yep.
IFB. Let's
Well, speaking
try
of
to-
charities, Pete, I know we're ready to get off, but
yeah.
I wanted to bring this charity up again,
Yes.
and we are part of this. But with this charity, I am spinning something here on my desk. If we can meet, there's 38 days left. I hope that you are all just give $10, give what you can here. I'll hit the I think I put the link up in the
On our page?
a page. I'll put the
Okay.
link up on the page. I'll also put it up here right now in
Okay.
regards to on our chat area. So if we meet, if they can meet the deal of $2,500,
Yeah.
if we can get to $2,500,
Yep.
I have. Here you go, Doc McCauley.
Oh, so Stroming.
You meet the
You will-
we meet
you'll
the
do it.
$2,500. I will
Listen,
open this up.
Show me
at-
show me at the sideways slant. Jesus Christ,
Oh,
that's bulging.
You
That's
need to eat
exactly
that.
you want.
Yeah,
you need to
get
eat
out
that,
to you.
man.
Right.
I will
so
definitely
basically-
at least open this and smell it deeply.
Aye.
But I will try to eat some if we can
Aye.
meet if you can meet the $2,500.
2,500.
Yeah,
fuck.
$2,500.
Right, okay, listen. I've had this shit, but I've had the fresh shit of this, and it's rough.
This is
It's
like
rough.
bulged and,
See that's
and close to
see the bulging in there?
sticky on the outside. Even I
he's
put it in a
going-
bag just to make sure if it does blow up, it doesn't kill anybody in the house.
He's going to fucking hospital with it, and I'm not joking when I say he's going to hospital with it. So
No,
basically,
he's
folks,
not. Come
he
on.
is. That's the way it's bulging.
It says it's good
fermented.
until 2055. I'm pretty sure I'm okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
See the way it's bulging like that?
It's good.
It's so fermented.
He's gonna get
No,
drunk.
when it hits his stomach.
I'm gonna put it back
gonna
in the
be
bag
ill.
here.
He's gonna be
gonna be
drunk.
ill. He's
That's
gonna be
all.
seriously ill.
He'll eat a little
But
bit of it.
tell you
and
what,
drunk.
right? So what we'll do is we'll do this. Put money in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tipsy will take it, and then his better half has to video him during the hospital visit.
I will do it at the con in front of everybody. If you meet that if we meet the $2,500 there, I will do it at the mini con in front of everyone.
Who do we have that either point at you and say, "You stupid bastard," or help you to hospital? Who have we got?
It'll be Pete, because Pete and I are both going to be there.
Yes, we will. And John won.
Right.
And John won will be there.
John
too.
will be there.
Pete. So
Yep.
Pete, you've got to have a body cam on you at all times
Yes.
for this.
Yep.
Absolutely.
He is going to be so fucking ill.
Okay.
You will have to take him to hospital. Because you see the way the can's bulging like that is like total fermentation there.
Yes.
That's like,
It's
He's gonna
well
get
it's well
drunk.
preserved.
He'll just open it and eat it and get drunk and then pass out underneath the table, and we'll take him home afterwards. So he'll be
And if
fine.
we and you know what, I'll challenge. So I'll if we meet the $2,500.
yes.
Plus, don't forget you get a chance to winning a 7-foot Darth Vader, by the way, at the same time.
Okay, go on.
So, but I think if Chris Fian would join me, calling out Chris Fian here. If we go over the $2,500 by, let's say, let's give a nice estimate, $250.
Where's this going to be? So what
New York.
convention is this?
Nassau.
New York, yeah.
It is at the.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to travel to the US anymore. But
You're on the watch
you
list.
are.
I actually know I am. All joking aside, I know I am. But if I could, I would come and I would take 3 spoonfuls of that.
Ah.
No, you wouldn't. No, you
I-
wouldn't.
I think you get
I
one
would.
down. The second and
I
third
don't
one.
think it-
No,
I don't
no.
think so.
I could do it. I could do it. I've got a cat now. No more than 3. Any more than 3, it's like suicide. That's a dodgy thing. But 3, I could probably do.
Gee, fig.
It is a dodgy thing. I mean, that stuff's explosive.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
so
Christ
swollen the
almighty.
thing is.
It smells like flowers, like roses when you
Yeah.
open it.
It's
Flower and roses that have died and rolled
it-
over, and some
it-
dead
it
people
doesn't.
and
doesn't.
some other stuff. So
It doesn't. It smells like Robbie Coltrane shit.
So here it is, guys.
you open
Don't
it.
forget, I don't see any movement on this. I still see 575 at 25 of 25.
Give the man the money.
Come
'Cause
on,
I'll tell you,
let's
tell you
go.
something.
I don't see
After
it, so I
you're
left.
not-
I'll put it also
not-
down on our
yeah.
page after we get done.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
do
Okay.
it.
I tell you what. You do the strumming, and then you have to do aquavit. So I want you to get.
Aquavit, is that like Aqua Velva? What?
Yeah,
No.
it's like an aftershave.
So aquavit. Basically, whenever I go and I lecture to the Norwegian Society here, I get strumming. And I
Fresh.
get fresh.
Fresh
Now, it's
is
fresh. That's not the shit.
Not the
shit
swollen
you've got.
can that I
Yeah.
have.
And then I drink half a liter of aquavit. Aquavit's about 60 or 70% proof, right? And that's
Yeah.
before I start lecturing,
Right.
right? The Norwegians think they can outdrink the Irish. Fuck them. No, they can't. But anyway,
That sounds like a
want
challenge.
you- yeah, and you'll lose. You will lose.
Oh, boy.
You try it with me, you'll lose big time.
Oh, boy.
Let's put it this way. Brent Spiner tried it with me, lost big time.
Ah, Data can't
Anyway,
handle his
Data
data.
lost.
He can. So listen, maybe we get you some aquavit as well, We get
can
you
do that.
elite.
If we go over the 2,500
We can do that. We get 'em
by
aquavit.
$500.
A liter bottle of aquavit. So aquavit's called aquavit because the liquor goes around the world once, right? It's meant for strumming. When you combine that with strumming, that's just basically death ready to happen for most North Americans.
Oh boy.
Not that I wish that on you, but I think that we have to prove that you're
It's for a good cause.
Well, we've got to prove you're a sign on. You've got a third brain, maybe a fourth stomach. Let's see what happens. If I was going to be there, I'd do it with you. I would have no
There we
problems.
go. Yeah.
I had no issues at all.
Well, on that note,
on that note, everybody, please, once again, I have put the link in the bio. We will actually put this up. I think might as well put it up as a link later on our page.
Yeah.
To create, and it's all for a good cause. Hey, I'm willing.
Charity.
I'm willing to die for charity.
He's not gonna die. Oh,
but anyways,
exaggerated.
I will. I know Pete's ready to go because he keeps waving his glass in front of the. It's like it's 10 o'clock. What's time to go to bed? But anyways, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's been a great night. I really I love hanging out with my friends. I love hanging out with the fans. You people are amazing. And I'll turn it over to Pete for the next part. And then we'll turn it over to Dr. McCauley for the last part.
Keep the faith, guys. Looking forward to the next show. We'll have another bunch of good guests. Doc McCauley will be joining us. And it was a great show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you next time.
Dr. McCauley?
Well, Slancha, and I will be back for next week. So, I don't know, Pete's got to have the beeper. I do sincerely apologize for anybody who gets offended by language, but essentially,
you got to start using more Battlestar references like frack and snit rat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Snit rat.
But it doesn't feel very authentic. And
frack is good. Frack is good.
Frack feels good. Anyway, listen, Slancha, thanks for joining us, and it was a fantastic show. And I'll see you all next week with another fun-filled, adventurous IFB.
That's right. Everybody, thank you for so much. See you next week.
Fans Feel the Fleet, guys.
Fans Feel the Fleet.